Welcome to the video blog. I'm Doug Simon at DS Simon Productions. I'm sitting in a construction zone of StrawnerryFrog that's going to be part of their expanded area here in Lower Manhattan. And I'm with Scott Goodson, their founder and CEO. Welcome to the video blog.
Thank you very much. Welcome to our construction site.
Cool. Now, obviously, with growth and buzz and excitement here, and you feel the buzz when you walk in the door, and it's not just the saws from the construction crew, one of the key things you've been focusing on, Scott, is the idea of borderless communications. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're approaching that and what's that meaning for your clients?
I think, well, from a StrawnerryFrog perspective, we've always been a global soul. The company started, I founded the agency in Amsterdam, and from the beginning we worked with clients that found universal insights that were relevant to people on a global basis. And the world is becoming bigger, not smaller. Technology is making the world a bigger place. So ideas travel further. And so being able to deliver global ideas is the future. Brands that are able to develop global ideas will win out over brands that are not able to do that. And so our pedigree, the culture of this agency, is made up of people who are born in one country, went to school in another, brought up in a third, work in a fourth. And I think that's a strength for clients that want to build global brands in the new world.
Right. Now, for years we've heard about cultural sensitivity, and you see the great case studies of, they had the great slogan in the U.S., they brought it to another country, and it meant, you're a jerk, we hate you, don't ever work with us. And they thought, hey, this is the cool thing. So how in this borderless world do you sort of cross cultural differences, or is it just those cultural differences are starting to go away as everyone's sharing almost a global culture?
I think there's a combination of things. I think certainly there's a global culture among many types of tribes of people, mindsets of people. If you look at young people, obviously it's the easiest group of people to see that there are a lot of similarities. Many people who use iPads are part of a new type of movement of people. They have the same aspirations, the same lifestyles. It's funny, you think about how differences have existed over generations between countries, India, Brazil, Russia, the United States, and you have perceptions of how people live in those countries. But if you go there and you meet people who use iPads, they're actually a lot like the people who use iPads in New York. So there are a lot of global groups of people who are the similar mindsets, similar lifestyles, similar tastes and interests, and they're only increasing. So obviously younger people, they exist, but they also exist in so many other ways. I think what we're seeing in technological terms is the smashing of the old trade routes that were created by old technology. The routes are created by ships, by the French and the Italians and the Portuguese. Their ships created these routes where, in the Atlantic trade routes that were created because of the fact that technology allowed people to circulate in that area. Now, it's quite normal for a Brazilian to fly through New York via Dubai, to Dubai and then on to China to buy a blanket that he's going to take back. Find a marketing company in New York that's going to help him market that product in Colombia, though it's going to be imported through Brazil. And so I think the world is really getting more universal. At the same time, second part of the question you asked is, are there differences? And of course there are differences. Culture is the root of everything. It defines us, and it's important to be able to understand, what insights are universal, what is inspiring to people on a universal basis, where they have to be tailored locally, because not everything is an idea that is can be just rolled out one idea globally, and be able to do that, and that means being curious and interested. It's also going to mean being open to different types of cultures, because this is the last point I'll make on this. What's happening now in the world is that a lot of countries are coming online, a lot of cultures are coming online that we're not used to, and they're having they will have and are having a massive impact on how we live our lives. So you have countries and cultures like India, China, Brazil, that are coming online, and these are, very powerful cultures, and they're coming with hundreds of very big companies. Their management styles, their approach to the world, the way they think about consumers, the way they think about the environment, all of those things are different than the way we think about them. Obviously, they're born out of their culture. In India, for example, many people in India were brought up with few resources. So they're very, very, ingenuity is huge there. They have to make a lot with a little. Whereas in some countries where you have a lot of resources, you don't have to be as ingenious. Maybe they did many years ago. So the culture of ingenuity is something that is fresh. So I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah.
It's interesting times.
Yeah, no, that's great. One thing I'd like to maybe give people sort of a tangible example of how you're doing things differently and getting your clients to do things differently. Do you have an example of a campaign, a project that you're working on now that maybe 2 years ago, even if you'd thought of it, no one would have considered it, or maybe it wouldn't have even been relevant or effective 2 years ago, but for now it makes sense given the way things are changing in the world?
I think an example is this year we developed something called Hello Baby, which is an iPad platform for Pampers that is targeting prenatal mothers. And historically, brands target customers, but in this new world, relationships with consumers develop at certain life stages, and it's not enough to use traditional advertising to build relationships like we did in the past. So Hello Baby is a great example where we have developed a tool. It's also entertainment, it's information, it's personal experience that creates a community of millions of prenatal mothers that start a relationship with Pampers the moment or relatively early on in their pregnancy, and build that relationship over many, many months. That's something that obviously didn't exist a couple of years ago. The ability to, reach out with content that was out there for truth seekers. In the past, traditional advertising was all about pushing messages out to consumers through paid advertising. Now, in this new world, using the energy of people are seeking information. They call them truth junkies. They're looking for ideas that are able to explain things for them, and they're out there seeking that information. And so moms, when they become pregnant, they're first thing they want to know is what happens. And so it's an opportunity to create content, to build relationships, and that's a great example of something that was impossible even a year and a half ago.
That's amazing. One thing I want to get into the name of your firm, obviously, StrawnerryFrog. Frogs, agile, quick to respond. If you've ever gone to a place in the summer where frogs are there and you're near a pond, really loud as well. I don't know if that fits. Did all that come to sort of be what you represent? Like, how does the name sort of work with what you're trying to accomplish and set yourself apart in your own branding?
Well, StrawnerryFrog is all about agility and flexibility and living like a frog, which is, being small but having a huge impact, being, thriving in all environments. In today's world, you can't be doing, a process of A, B, C, D. This old production model is just not relevant in today's world. Things are moving much too quickly. Technologies are popping up every 3 seconds. You've got to be able to test, learn, scale, be agile, try lots of things. Some things are going to fail, some things are going to pop, and then those are the things you're going to get behind, you're going to learn from, and you're going to grow that. And that means really having a frog-like approach to business. And that's really what the culture of the agency has been right from the start, since we started 12 years ago. And the name StrawnerryFrog comes from an actual frog from the Amazon. It's a little red frog with blue legs, and it's poisonous, so if you lick it, it's fatal. So it's effective and kind of funky because it's got these colors. But when we came up with the name of the frog, the reason we have it as our mascot is because we represented the opposite of the big traditional organizations, which were defined as, dinosaurs, not by me, but by an industry publication. And I think the bureaucratic systems of those big organizations are really what we're talking about. That this flexibility is different than that type of system. Of course, in the big agencies, there's a lot of great talent and people, but it's just the systems that were developed 60 years ago that are not really relevant to the world. Excuse me.
Yeah, so it sounds like working with those big bureaucracies might be as effective as licking a strawberry frog, so to speak, so you probably don't want to go there.
You don't want to go there.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us, and congrats on the move and expansion.
Thank you very much. We're really excited about it. There's a rumor that in this building, which is 60 Madison, on the 12th floor, is where David Ogilvy had his first office on Madison Avenue. So it's got that sort of pedigree and legacy, which is kind of fun.
That's awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.